Hello YouTube, how's it going? In this video I want to discuss the dangers of marijuana. And so many people take this herb and are unaware of the dangers of it. And I always say that marijuana is for the disciplined. Marijuana is for someone who is extremely self-disciplined, and most people are not. So you have to understand that when you consume marijuana, if you consume it and you are immediately put into a state focused on your lower chakras, so the root chakras, food, sex, joy, excitement, party, all of that, that's how you know that you don't have control over the herb. And if you don't have control over something, it has control over you. If you don't have control over your day has control over you. So I'll potentially make a video about controlling your day, because if you don't control your day controls you. If you don't control your time controls you. So you have to be in control. So when people say, when I use marijuana, I get horny, or when I get giggly, or I get the munchies, those are people who lack discipline and self-control. And marijuana is controlling them. And if you are put in a position where marijuana is controlling you, then it's up in the air. You're not in control anymore. So you're going here, you're going there. You're not being led. You are not in control. The Holy Spirit is not leading you, at least. So, and yeah, I urge people to be careful. And what marijuana does to you, it heightens your senses. It heightens feeling. So this is why sex feels or seems better. It heightens your senses. Music sounds better. All six senses. It heightens it. And I specifically mentioned the sixth sense because if you ask people how many eyes do you have, they'll say 2. But when you close your eyes if you close your eyes and I tell you to imagine or picture a red car, you can see it. You can see anything with your mind's eye. And we all have a third eye. And if you don't like the term third eye, because it is kind of new agey, you can just say your mind's eye. So it heightens all 6 senses. So we have 5 physical senses and we have the 6th sense. And the 6th sense this is where marijuana can get especially dangerous, especially if you have an online 6th sense, because then you can begin to see things or experience things that you wouldn't normally be able to experience. And this is why I suggest staying, like me personally, first of all, I don't like to smoke. I don't want to smoke. I don't smoke because smoking is bad for you. And my main thing is energy. My main thing is on energy and health consciousness. And smoking is detrimental. It's not just cigarettes. And most people, at least where I was raised, and a lot of people around here, they sprinkle a little bit of tobacco or nicotine, whatever they call it, into their marijuana. Oh, just a little bit. Just you smoke cigarettes, bro, as well as smoking weed. So smoking is just detrimental to you. And I think I mentioned, let me not even reference previous videos, but when I had smoked, it would often generate mucus and I would taste it in my mouth. And I would have to go through an important procedure. So in general, I'm going to spill my beverage here. In general, I would urge you to avoid marijuana because if you do choose to partake in it, you have to go to a very structured regimen post marijuana consumption, because the mistake most people make is they smoke it or they consume it or they whatever. And I was going to say, my preferred mode of consumption is through an edible or through a tea. Tea is the best, so because it's the healthiest and you get the same benefits and it lasts you the whole day rather than just smoke, hits you, 30 minutes, gone. So yeah, if you're going to consume the herb, the most important thing that you want to do is you need to have a post-marijuana consumption plan. So I was saying most people, they'll use the herb and then the next thing, they'll watch TV, or they'll have sex, or they'll eat. Those are people who the marijuana is controlling them. So you have to understand and recognize and accept that it's detrimental to your health. It's beneficial, perhaps from a spiritual perspective, but from a physical health standpoint, it is detrimental. So you need to have a post-consumption protocol. And if I was to smoke weed today, for example, I'm getting the tongue scraper out. I have a tongue scraper. I'm chewing ginger. I'm chewing bitter cola. I'm eating a lot of fruits. I'm drinking a lot of water, salt water, preferably. You have to make sure that everything is to get you back in alignment, because it's going to take you off balance. because yeah, it makes you high, so that means you're not high already. And I always say like you shouldn't consume marijuana when you're low, and this is the mistake a lot of people make as well. They consume it when they're in low spirit state. Same with alcohol. They pursue alcohol when they're in low spirits to try and bring them up. And yes, it will work, it will bring you up, but then what happens after the effects have worn off? You're going to come crashing back down, and then you end up in a cycle of feeling like you need this thing. I still remember one incident. I was on a date with my girlfriend at the time, and she brought her gay best friend who secretly desired her. Not even secretly, it was well known. And then we were sitting in the restaurant, and then she was like, "Oh, I've got to smoke first. I've got to smoke first before I can eat." Like, people get so dependent on these things that before they can consume food, it was a must that she got that hit. So she went out back by herself, of course. She went out around the back of the corner, that kind of thing, and came back in and says she's high now, she can eat. I'm high now, I can have sex. People same with drink alcohol. Oh, I'm drunk now, I can have sex. So it's just extremely dangerous. And so I cannot, me personally, again, someone who's like, if you just stayed in the States and smoked Cali and smoked this strain and smoked that strain, you don't have a good experience of weed. Like, I've been all over the world. I've tried all different strains. I've tried the bush, African raw weed. I've tried so many different weed. I've been in Jamaica, smoked natural bush there, steam chalice, bongs, everything, you name it, and consumed all sorts. I've been to Amsterdam. Amsterdam's another place you have to explore. So I would say I have definitely mastered marijuana, and I'm saying that if you don't have extreme discipline, you're screwed. Like, the moment you consume marijuana and you want to have sex now and you want to eat food and you want to do this, it shouldn't lead you down to lower states. It should bring you up to higher states. And if you're focused on your lower chakras, then marijuana is only going to be detrimental for you, and it's going to lead you into a cycle of, yeah, it helps me. So yeah, I don't consume marijuana in public. If I was to consume it, I have to be in the confines of my own home. Even with a significant other, it's dangerous for me. It's been dangerous. I've had very dangerous experiences with, like, my girlfriend in Trinidad. We took a sweet edible together, and Africa, and have a girlfriend, and it just got crazy. So I cannot be around. So there was an incident. I was traveling in West Africa, and I got high. And other things, you want to pray for your weed, but my 10-minute time is almost running out here. But I remember there was an incident. I was high, and this real experience that I had of a witch was when I was inebriated from marijuana, and I was outdoors. I'm not going to get too much into the story in this video because it could be its own video. But yeah, the first real encounter I had of her, and she was dressed in all black, and she tried to attack me without physically touching me. And it's dangerous out here, because now, even in a sober state, this is the reason why I don't hang around a lot of people. I can feel negative spirits, and I can identify a witch just from looking at her in a sober state. So I remember just probably about 2 weeks ago, I was walking, and I was identifying witches. Just in a short walk. It's crazy how many of them are out there. But I would just urge you to be careful. I understand, like, especially when you're young, it's just, smoke some weed, blah, 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 that kind of thing. But if you don't know what you're doing, it knows what it's doing, so you gotta be really, really careful.